everybody, it's me, Bruce from One Lamb Studios with another music tutorial. This time I want to help you play your own music. So a lot of songs that you've heard are actually forms that are pre-made forms that someone might find a key that works for them on their instrument or for their voice, and then they kind of like fill in the chords from there. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to use the 12-bar blues form, but we're going to use it over minor chords. So what we're going to start with is an A minor chord, then we're going to move to D minor, going to go back to A minor, and then at the bottom of that we're going to have an E minor, D minor, A minor, E minor. That's called the turnaround, and that's what leads us back to the beginning of the song. All right, so what I had to do first is make a track. So what I'm going to do first is play keyboard, and then I'm going to try to add some drums and stuff, and then that way I can play guitar, and that way you have a track to play along to. All right, let's get to it. Okay, so I have my screen recording going here. I'm going into Logic Pro X, and I'm going to create a new file, and I'm going to create software instrument. I kind of like this deluxe classic and the modern classic sound. So I'm going to go up here, instead of keep the tempo to 120 beats per minute, which is what it normally has, I'm going to switch it to adapt. And so that way it's going to adapt the tempo to whatever I play. So it's going to be pretty sweet. So let's go ahead, I'm going to hit record, and what we're going to do is we're going to play those chords we talked about. Okay, ready? I'm going to give it some beats so it knows where I'm at. 1, 2, 3, and we're going to start here. Stop there, and then we're going to loop it. Okay, so whenever we go in here to loop this, I can see that it ended right there on the beat, and I'm just going to grab it at the corner of it wherever it made a little loopy symbol. We're going to loop this for quite some time because I'm going to make a nice backing track for you all to jam to. Okay, so it looks like it wants to stop, so you can see there's like this little gray square that's at the top of the screen. As you move over, right there it is, this tiny little gray area and a triangle. I'm just going to scoot that over. That lets me make my song longer. Okay, so here I go, and I feel like that's probably long enough. Okay, so at this point I went ahead and troubleshot my issues, cut off the 4 beats at the beginning for when I went to loop it, and I'll go ahead and zoom in on it, but this is a fast forward of the screenshot. But basically everything was sounding really good and in rhythm except for those 4 beats at the beginning, and then at the very end you notice you have to zoom way far in to make sure that it's exactly to the measure. Otherwise, when you drag your loop, you might not notice the first time, but by the 3rd or 4th time you'll notice whatever you looped is out of rhythm with everything else. That's because the first loop wasn't exactly trimmed properly. I'm just going to pause that and loop it. All right, so now that we have keys, drums, and bass, we're ready to play whatever instrument we want to over top of it. Anything that's going to sound good in the key of A minor. And so as far as chord progression goes, remember we're going to have A minor for 16 beats, D minor for 8 beats, back to A minor for 8 beats, E minor for 4 beats, D minor for 4 beats, A minor for 4 beats, and E minor for 4 beats. This is the 12-bar blues pattern. And so you can play whatever you want over top of it. And so that's going to be the conclusion of this video, but check out the next video where I solo over top of that and give you some ideas, in addition to a third video where it's the track just by itself for you to play over without my ramblings. Thanks so much for sticking with me to the end of this tutorial. Again, I'm Bruce Harrington from One Lamp Studios. It's my pleasure to help you with music. Please subscribe and hit like, and put in the comments below any videos you'd like me to make.